Wonderful. Well, for those of you that I have not yet met, my name is Cameron Smith, and I work in the Center for Career Development as an assistant director working with our science, technology, engineering students, as well as the health and life science students. We are here for you all during finals and throughout the summer as well for the next 2 years as a young alum. So if you have questions or need help, we are happy to be that assistance for you as you continue your job search going forward. And we're joined by a young alum who is here to talk a little bit about what her search looked like, specifically her search right around now when she was a senior, and just really, really grateful to kind of turn it over and to have Carolyn with us. So Carolyn, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to mute myself and turn off my camera and learn a little bit more about your search process and kind of the MGH process.
Hi, yeah, thank you. So again, my name's Carolyn. I'm currently a research coordinator at Mass General. And last year, I think it was like late April, I was freaking out a little bit because I still hadn't secured like a job. And I knew I really did want to go into the clinical research sphere. And so I thought, okay, one day I was just gonna apply to a bunch of positions at once and kind of went for like quantity over anything else, just because it was getting later in the game. And actually, from one of those jobs I had applied to, I got a bunch of interviews, and one of those is the position I have now at Mass General with the metabolism unit. So I guess that was a success story, and I just wanted to share how that worked out for me, and also how you could do the same thing if you're at that kind of state where you're just looking for a job, or maybe you're really interested in Mass General and want to just put your name out there to as much as possible. So I thought I'd just walk through how to do it. But yeah, so I think you can see my screen here. I think the first thing that you should do is literally just Google like Mass General Brigham job portal. And this is going to bring you to just a search page for where the careers can all be found. And so you can click pretty much any one of these because it's all going to bring you to the same place of like explore Mass General Brigham careers. And this will bring you to this like little website that actually has all the jobs in all of Mass General Brigham listed. And just for context, like Mass General Brigham is like the largest employer in the state of Massachusetts. So there is a ton of jobs out there. And it's not only in Boston, but also like just outside of Boston. There's remote positions. So there's tons of things that you can search here. And they're all located in this general like website here. So the first thing I would recommend everyone doing is a sign in or create an applicant login. And this is easy because it's going to save your information so you don't have to keep entering it over and over. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in. But again, it's super easy, and it will like also not waste your time basically in having to like re-enter a bunch of times. So now that you're signed in, what we're kind of qualified for at our stage just after graduating is a job called research coordinator. So if you haven't heard of this before, basically what your job is that you're going to assist in research day-to-day management. And this is going to look a little different for each different projects that you're in. Maybe you're going to be meeting with patients every day like me. Sometimes it's just you're handling the samples. Some people have different kinds of jobs where they're doing like data entry only, or it can be like a whole combination of these factors. But basically, when you have your bachelor's degree, the entry-level position is generally under a branch called just research coordinator or research assistant. So when you're searching for jobs, I would put that in the keyword as research coordinator. And you can also do on this website, which I would recommend, an advanced search. So again, put in keywords, research coordinator, job field, you can leave blank, zip code. Again, there's so many areas, so I will leave that blank. Posting date doesn't really matter, but if you are looking for a full-time job, this is where you want to check off full-time day job, because that's going to give you like a 9 to 5, and then also regular employee status, just meaning that you're going to be there for the whole duration of whenever you want to be in your job. So like 1 to 2 years is typically what people have these positions for. So now we'll do search for jobs, and we can kind of even get like 100 jobs at once that we can look at. And what happens is when you do a search for research coordinator, it's going to get anything from like research associated to coordinator associated. And so you are going to have to like kind of scrub through these a little bit and find the ones that apply best. So like, as you can see, there's all different kinds of positions, but what you want to look for specifically is these terms: research coordinator, clinical research coordinator. And another note that I will make is when you're looking, sometimes they have these Roman numerals after it. When you're first coming out of college, you're going to be considered a clinical research coordinator 1, or just like a 1 after the name. And that those Roman numerals indicate like the number of years you had been in that position. So sometimes people will like switch projects, and so they could apply to higher up positions. But again, just look for like research coordinator or research coordinator with like a 1 after it. So let's say, okay, I'm interested in applying in whatever positions have clinical research coordinator in the name. Kind of what I did. I did like 40 in one day when I did mine. So like this one looks good, project coordinator. So you can click on that and kind of read through, really see what they're looking for. See if, you know, maybe you can do 2 things. Maybe you're just applying to a bunch at once, or maybe you are looking for things very specific to your interests. So this would tell you a little bit more about the job. And then you can kind of see what you'll be doing, and also like skills that are needed. Maybe you are really good at like these things that they have listed here. Like maybe you are a really good team player, so this is a good job for you. And then you can also see down here, if they ever have like a license or certification that you don't have. Like some jobs need you to be like phlebotomist certified, and you don't have that, then maybe don't apply to that job unless you really do have that certification. But most of these are also going to have a requirement of your bachelor's degree. So like this one says some college, so a bachelor's degree is great. And then down experience, they'll always like list what they would like you to have experience for. This one, I would say you could actually kind of be a little bit flexible on, because see how they have like preferred is 2 years. Maybe you don't have a full 2 years, but you do have a year of like volunteering in a hospital. Like that would count as like experience in healthcare. And maybe you interned before another summer at a hospital. Like that would count as experience. You don't need to necessarily be in a full-time position to count it as experience for beforehand. Okay, so say I'm like, okay, this job looks great for me. What I'm going to do now is apply online. And this is going to bring you over to the specific application for the job. And now I did want to make a note that when you apply to a position like this, it's going to be only towards the job that has that like description that you looked at. But what is really nice about this whole website is that it's going to save your information for each time you apply, so you don't have to do the like little questions over and over. But you might want to tweak them a little bit based on what the job description is or what they're looking for specifically, just that way it puts like your best foot forward for them. So first question they're always asked is like, how did you find about this job? And so you could put like job board, and they could say this one here, or I think it was like our website, and you could just say the career website. And so it actually has all my information saved from when I did it last, but basically it's just going to have you put everything in. And then I would definitely click this job posting notification at the bottom. So this is going to basically anytime that there's a job posting that meets your description or of like having a bachelor's degree or in a research coordinator, it's going to email you. So even over the summer, if you still don't have like a position, but there are some opening up, then it will let you know. And I do say they open up as students before sometimes get accepted into schools beyond like medical school or like the PhD program over the summer. Sometimes students very suddenly leave, and so they're leaving a vacant position. So that's kind of how they might still like pop up over the summer, even if you haven't like been necessarily looking until later into the year. there'll still be positions coming up. So, okay, we'll hit save and continue. And then it's going to have you just go through a bunch of questions. And basically it's just general questions, education you can put in, Holy Cross, of course, anything related to like what you would put on your resume, you can put in there. Basically it kind of is a pain, but you only have to do that once. So that was nice. Okay, and then it will come to file attachments. Sometimes what they're looking for here, they'll list in the job description if they would want a cover letter, if they want a resume or CV, they usually want that. And be careful on what they describe as if they want a CV or if they want a resume, because with the CV, they're also asking for research or publication history, like anything that you've been involved with. And so that's like another conversation, but that can be a little bit more specific. And then some of them also want to see what classes you've taken, so a copy of your transcript, even an unofficial transcript works. So this is again what you have for all of your options for attaching. Here you can do attaching your resume, attaching, transcript, CV, and basically what it will do is save all your files, and then you can like click which ones you want to upload here. So like, let's say they wanted a CV or my transcript, I can also just click that here. And then another thing I wanted to make a point of is that for some of these that do require a cover letter, I can pop up here. I have an example of what a cover letter I used was kind of like this, where the second and third and fourth paragraphs are a little bit more general about like experience I had that make me good for clinical research coordinator jobs in general. And then the top paragraph is where I would play around and make it more specific to the job that I'm applying to. So this one was like about women's hormones and aging research. And I said, because I had a history experience with like women's healthcare, then I was able to be better prepared for this position that I'm applying for. So again, so this top paragraph is kind of where you can make it more specific, so you don't have to like keep rewriting the cover letter over and over. You can save the bottom paragraphs and just kind of make this top one more applicable. And of course, as always, make the heading to what they are applying for and asking for. But yeah, so we can come back here and say, okay, I have all my things, I'm ready to save and continue. And then it's going to have you do some diversity things. It's going to have you do an e-signature, basically just attesting that everything that you have in here is true to you. It's true to who you are, and then you can review and submit, and it's very easy. So I'm actually going to quit here, but in general, that's just kind of the process that you have for doing research job and applications. Again, once you put in all your information, it's very easy to like hit submit a bunch of times and just put your name out there. And so, yeah, you can do whatever kind of job specifically you're looking for. You can do research coordinator. Maybe you're also like more into like the data side of things. You could also look into like data jobs. Yeah, and I would just recommend taking a look at this website if you need a job. They're always posting, they always need people. And they're such a big fan of Holy Cross students graduating. So this is a great format for someone to get a job. But yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. I think you were kind of hitting the nail on the head that we do have some students that are nervous, feeling maybe perhaps a little anxious about end of the academic year, kind of getting prepared. Where are they at? Are these openings still out there right now? So one of the other questions that we get a lot are if students are applying, but they're not necessarily getting past the initial search, knowing that we have a lot of alums at MGH and in CRC roles at multiple kind of hospitals and clinics in the New England area, across the country, reaching out to alums and kind of building some of that, leveraging the Holy Cross network. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say like alums, we're always happy to hear from Holy Cross students. Like, I think it just reminds us that we were once in that position, and that reaching out always makes us feel not only like connected to the school, but also like, okay, we can help and we can do something. So please, honestly, it's not an inconvenience at all. You shouldn't be scared. Like, we really do welcome students reaching out with any kinds of questions. And even if you're like, do you know of any jobs like available? Like, I would absolutely help people. I have access to like unlisted jobs too. So if anyone wanted to reach out to me, I can help forward their resume to those unlisted jobs too.
That's wonderful. And we've got a lot of alums that are on the Holy Cross Network, and we can, in our office, help work with you on who has opportunities, who's willing to talk about resumes, who's willing to help with even the job shadowing piece. If you want to get a little bit of a feel this summer before you do full applications, and LinkedIn is another great way for the broader search to be able to do that. And we are happy to kind of help walk you through both those tools and resources to get you better connected with some alums, like Carolyn and like other folks who have volunteered to be on panels or been in our newsletters. Or have reached out about open positions that we posted on GroupMe or through Handshake as well. So I would echo that we have a really wonderful alumni base, specifically at MGH, and specifically in a lot of these clinical research, clinical coordinators, research associates, whatever the titles might be at different institutions. A lot of our students are looking to do that as they think about PA school or med school, or kind of that next step in the pre-health tracks there. So well, wonderful. Any other final thoughts on your side?
Just good luck and really enjoy, the springtime and summertime, and I promise you will get a job. Don't worry.
Well, thank you so much. We are eternally grateful, as always, for all your help. And I'm sure you'll be hearing from some of our soon-to-be alums in the coming weeks. Thank you again.
Of course.